Today's story is about making something different that we've never made before. Now, this is an old recipe handed down from generation to generation. We call this Grandma's Ranch and Bacon Pasta Salad. It's not your average pasta salad, that's for sure. We hope we do it justice. We're going to start out with cutting and frying up a pound of bacon. Welcome back. Into the fry pan it goes. We're going to let this cook up, and then we'll drain it. Cooking bacon. I love the smell. It calls first for cutting up a bundle of green onions. So we're going to chop it up and set this aside.
And it's done.
Cool beans. We're just going to drain it. As the grease cools off, we will keep it for green beans and other things that we use the bacon grease for.
Got some salted water in here, and we just dumped in 1 pound of this kind of pasta. I'm not even going to pretend to try to pronounce it.
Okay. Well, it calls for a half a cup of buttermilk, and we don't have any, so we're going to make it with a half a cup of milk and a half a tablespoon of vinegar. We're making some mayonnaise. We got egg,
Oil, salt.
salt.
I'm putting in a tablespoon of vinegar, and I just need a little mustard to go in here.
You don't want to use any lemon?
You can use a splash of lemon juice if you want to.
Yeah, why not? That was a splash, all right. And just a little mustard for flavor.
We're going to let this settle, and then I'm going to put the immersion blender in there and just mix it all up. So we've got all of our ingredients. They're settled to the bottom. I'm going to gently put my immersion blender in to keep it from stirring things up too much. Once I turn this on, I'm just going to let it set at the bottom for a minute, and it's going to start emulsifying, and you'll see it kind of sneak out the side. Okay, now we have a nice thick jar of homemade mayonnaise to use in our recipes today.
Okay, we're just cooling off the pasta now.
Got my fresh parsley picked and cut up.
Okay, so it calls for a pint of fresh cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes.
I don't know how much fresher you can get than picking them off the vine.
Picking them fresh. That's as fresh as we're going to get today. Okay, so we're going to cut up a pint. Is that what it says?
A pint of tomatoes cut in half.
Yeah.
They said grape, but we're using cherry.
We're using cherries, and we're probably going to have more than a pint. How about that? Okay, we're going to dump macaroni in. We're going to put in tomatoes.
Probably a little bit more than a pint, which is what it called for, but you know what? We've got lots of tomatoes.
Yeah, and we love the tomatoes, so.
Olives.
What is that? How much?
Olives. We've got a 4 1/4 ounce can.
Okay.
And we are going to put in about a cup of cheddar cheese, maybe a little bit more bacon.
That's a pound of bacon fried up and drained. Now for the dressing.
Okay, so we're going to do the sour cream, which I believe is a half a cup. And I'm just going to guesstimate here. And then we are going to do a half a cup of mayonnaise. And this jar is almost empty, so I'm not worried about cross-contamination here.
Then we have the one we just made.
That wasn't enough, so I have to get some more out. Okay, I'd say that's probably about a half cup. And half a cup of buttermilk.
Which we just made.
Ingredients in a bowl.
Mixing them up in a circle.
Well, I don't know that I can mix them up in a square. I don't think that works very well, so yeah, circle. Now we're going to add our parsley.
fresh parsley. And how much was that?
That was about a 1/4 cup.
Okay.
And then I am going to add, I don't know how much salt, so hold on. So we're going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. We're going to use, now it calls for fresh dill, so dried you're not going to use quite as much. It calls for a 1/4 cup of fresh dill, and I'm going to use maybe a couple of tablespoons.
I would say 1 tablespoon would probably be good, but okay.
Okay, we're also going to add some garlic.
Adding the garlic.
I don't use precise measurements, so garlic is just something that we love, so I just add a bunch. We're going to add about 1½ tablespoons of lemon juice. And I'm measuring precisely, as you can see.
Stirring it again, mixing it up good. You taste it first.
That's really good.
No, it's my turn.
Okay.
Not in the ear. Oh, yeah. Ooh. That's going to be delicious.
So, I haven't added the onions yet. And now we are going to put the dressing on. And then it's just a matter of tossing it.
There is another ingredient that we have not added yet. We're saving it for the end.
Could it possibly have any more ingredients to put in here?
Yes. Frozen peas. And I love the peas, so yes, we have to put them in.
It's a
Frozen
really
sweet
great
peas.
summer dish for barbecue or potluck.
Okay, we added a few frozen peas. I'm thinking it needs some minced white
Some
or
more
red
onion.
onion.
It
Yeah,
needs more onion.
needs some more.
Now, some people ask us why we don't use gloves. Unless we have cuts on our hands, we don't use gloves because we can actually go wash our hands easier and keep them cleaner than we can constantly changing gloves out. So if we were working in a restaurant for the public, we might wear gloves and change them out constantly, but that's why we don't wear gloves, is we can keep our hands actually cleaner than gloves can. I'm just going to add a little bit more onion to this.
That's how we roll. A little more onion.
I'm going to add just a little bit more salt too.
It's just salt to taste. It didn't give any kind of measurement for salt, so. Well, that was it for our ranch bacon pasta salad. If you try it, we hope you like it. If you're new to our channel and you like what we do, hit subscribe and like. And as always, God bless.